This is the EGC 20k Age of Empires 4 tournament. We are here to witness the final 16 generals in battle. This time, it's Titans. Victoria Siva Morse. My name is Anuki, but it's not the name you should remember because today they've taken their space armor off, hit the time travel button, given up the life of leading Marines to take charge of Eastern France. It's MarineLord. Challenging them today in this civil war, they've taken off their space armor, hit the time travel button, given up their life of leading zealots to take charge of Western France. It's Probe. These two could not be more different. Complete polar opposites. Set on destroying each other today, and you know what? It doesn't matter who wins. They're both wrong. Can I get a for the swarm? Okay, so small history lesson. We have two StarCraft, two Furious generals today. This match is highly anticipated. I've been looking forward to it a lot. It is France versus France. We don't need a Civ breakdown, but because of contractual obligations, the things to know is France is strong, good economy, powerful knights, ultramarine, crossbowmen, which don't get utilized too much. We'll see what happens today, though, between these two, whilst they build up to a level of interest worthy of your presence. Allow me to go over some outside details. If you are interested in competitive play, do check out the EGC Discord. The link will be provided in the video description. There's a total 20k up for grabs in this tournament alone, and there's more tournaments and events to come. If you are watching this, you are watching this on Ironcast, we're just a separate production person documenting Age of Empires 4 history to the maximum. If you like what we do, then we'd love to meet you. All it takes is to gather the courage to follow the link on screen. That's it, we're done. Now we can focus on the match at hand. Absorb the pleasant sound of the birds and the buildings, the gentle pitter-patter of scouting horses, the delicate boop of sheep being slaughtered, and the jubilacious tapping of gold veins, the whispering moans of the common folk being forced into a life of servitude. And with that, a gentle reminder that our life isn't that different to an Age of Empires villager after all. The School of Cavalry is being built, of course. It's the natural choice for France. I'm looking forward to when the other landmark is built, the Chamber of Commerce, but overall, trading has been really on an all-time low. Everyone playing France just wants to get that School of Cavalry out, get the early Royal Knights going, get 5 or 6 Knights, tap into the power of the Chivalry upgrade, maybe add an additional stables, or if we're feeling a bit edgy, we might add some archers in to take out the incoming spear. But in a matchup against France and France, does anyone want to break the pattern and get spears? We shall see. House going down so that we can fit more villagers inside of them. And MarineLord just scouting out where the gold is from Probe, and Probe is coming along as well. And they want to discover if there's anything unusual going on. No one's on the stone, so there's not going to be a early second town center. And from this, Probe can deduct that the gold is at the back of MarineLord's settlement. Both are going to reach feudal age at the same time. Testament to their macro skills being on par with each other. MarineLord, just by milliseconds, gets it first. The next step being the training of the French Royal Knights, rallying them over to the enemy as fast as horsingly possible. Also, not forgetting to bring back the sheep to add to the food economy. Probe scout there, taking a few hits as they swing by, getting all the information that they need, and discovering that a Royal Knight is on their way, but so is theirs. Here comes the joust, and it is Probe that gets the first strike. MarineLord will cancel their rally to Probe settlement. Maybe waiting for the next knight. Ooh, going for the scout. The second knights are up. And will these two be interlocked in the middle in some Royal French knight-off? It appears so. And I don't think having a scout adds much of an edge. A wolf joins the battle on the side of MarineLord. R.I.P. Wolf. For some reason, this music reminds me of Final Fantasy. Very emotive. It's like I'm in one of the villages on the outskirts. And on the outskirts is where all our first skirmishes are happening. Both generales are going to keep building up and testing each other. The gold miners certainly happy about that. Usually they're the first to take a lance to the glands. Right now, I wish I could read the minds of both MarineLord and Probe, because I know what they want to do. What they want to do is very traditional for France. And as a reminder, this game has only been out for 2 weeks with limited testing. There's a lot of room for improvement. There's a lot of areas of unbeknownst. And there's a lot of money on the line. So maybe both of them are just being a bit cautious of each other, having faced each other many numbers of times in a different field of glory. MarineLord going in with more knights. They clash. And Probe retreats a scout. A little bit of blocking from the scout. I didn't expect it to work, and it didn't. But it was worth the try. And Probe didn't have more knights there because they've got 2 pestering villagers off stone. They're so annoyed that they will go ahead and construct an outpost in their own name. One villager sadly tries to return to harvesting stone, and the 2 other knights that was tasked with guarding them got distracted by a squirrel and wandered away. But the real sad story is they're not even going to use the stone that she was carrying on her back to make a gravestone for her. What would it even say on the gravestone? There you go, there's your caption contest for this video. What does it say on that villager's gravestone? In the meantime, idle scouting from MarineLord. The best kind of scouting requires no micro. You just sit there and watch menacingly on the sidelines. 2 Royal Knights making their move round the flank as MarineLord goes in on the stone line. So we have a lot of stone being harvested from both generals. The indicator is another town center will be built. Because nobody in their right mind, at least by today's standards, is going to be constructing some stone walls and stone towers. It's especially difficult to do that kind of walling in Dry Arabia because there's just so many directions and entryways. Although once your settlement is kind of positioned towards the edge of the map, you can kind of lock off these rear entrances into your base because they'll usually be parallel to a forest, so you know, very easy to cut off. Probe managing to get through to the gold mine, scaring the villagers off for a while, and sees that there is deer on the menu. MarineLord will react. But Royal Knights are just as fast as Royal Knights, so the Royal Knights will get away. Probe also has a mill, getting some deer. And on the note of Knights just running away really fast, that's why we kind of see Mongols as a counter, because the Khan can give a speed bonus. You also have the Deerstone's Yam network, which grants more speed as well. So when Knights end up making a mistake, you can punish it a lot better and stop them from getting use out of that chivalry upgrade. Because if a Knight goes down to 1 health and it heals all the way back to full, you basically got a Knight for free. Here comes MarineLord again, and Probe is trying to put up some barracks. The woodcutters at risk. There's 1 down. The rest managed to climb into the safety of the town center just as Probe's Knights arrive to defend. Barracks, I think, would be excellent, getting some spearmen just to bulk up the numbers. It's a short disengage for MarineLord as they circle back round to attack from a different angle. However, the Red Royal Knights are ready to respond. They are smaller in number. MarineLord does turn round and gets that charge attack off. And it's just that jousting thing again. So the reason why you will see Knights and Lancers just kind of attack and then pull out is because there is that bonus charge damage. In the Feudal Age, it does 29 damage. But the French Royal Knights also get bonus damage for 3 seconds after charging. An extra 22 attack. Which is quite meaningless without some kind of context. So the context here being that Royal Knights right now have 190 health. Knights have some of the best health for, people units in the game. So that's quite huge. Regular infantry soldiers, spearmen, for example, right now would have 90 health. So that's why you kind of need a lot of spearmen just for a single Knight. It's clear at the moment MarineLord just wants to keep Probe on the defense. Whilst at the same time, that scout, which is bundled in with that grouping, getting a lot of information, able to find this extra mill. A bunch of villagers lose their life, and MarineLord is out again. Props to the spearmen, though. You'd think they'd be much slower racing against Royal Knights, but, they're faring okay. Probe cancels the chase. MarineLord will again look to find another way in, just to keep applying pressure. Those Knights always building up, but the same holds true for Probe. The only difference being it's Probe's villagers that's constantly at risk. It's like Probe knows where the next attack will be coming. Information is super important. You can see the health of both armies. Won't really make too much difference here. Probe could definitely benefit from more outposts. Now MarineLord is even bringing archers. Depending on how the micro goes, and MarineLord is very good at micro. They're going to start firing at the archers. The archers move to the front so they become easy pickings. Only 1 spearman is lost, and those villagers still picking at the berries. Even under fire. A lot more spearmen are about to arrive, and MarineLord says, you know what, I'm out. I don't want to mess with those. Once again, Probe is able to defend and claim a bunch of archers. And a scout! If anything, the scout was probably the most important thing to take out there. So we do have an extra town center. More houses going down. We had a house built next to the mill. When this is what we want to see. We want to see outposts next to mills. It's not just about housing those villagers, but the vision that it grants. Looks like we will enter an era of peace. MarineLord going for the guild hall as their landmark to age them up into the castle age. As we browse around Probes, ooh, we have a marketplace. No, there's more war to be had in the center of the map. MarineLord has an army right behind them. And they want to turn around back to the safety of their village, but they can't make any tight turns. Using some car chase techniques, squeezing through that gap, rubbing along the trees. And they managed to get the distance that they desire. And some spearmen did fork off. And so will those three as well. Probe doesn't want to play around in MarineLord's settlement. Here are the spearmen. They've been working on battering rams. Okay, Probe has been feeling fairly silent throughout this game, but it's now their turn to do the talking. We've got the spears. They're going to be working very nicely with the Royal Knights. However, going this far forward, you can see MarineLord is scared to fight that, which is going to make it even more difficult to deal with these battering rams. The villagers could hop out, but they've got to be careful. The Probe's army doesn't clash just like they're clashing with MarineLord's knights. And this is really where we see the power of those spearmen. No one, even in just the few numbers, they still look kind of scary. The spearmen skewer the villagers outside their homes. MarineLord evades them for now to enter a who's the better knight dispute with Probe. And it is all around the buildings, but those battering rams at the back, or battering ram, is still doing work. It looks like the other ones weren't completed and brought into this chaos. Seems Probe's forces have split. Oh, this is tremendously disrespectful. The dancing in the middle of a battle. MarineLord still has a concentrated group of knights left. But they're going to need more. There are reinforcements arriving from Probe. And the battering ram continues to shunt the side of the town center. Probe trying to rally their forces back up. It doesn't seem like MarineLord's capable of producing enough units to be able to fight this back. Even with all that raiding that MarineLord did early on, it seems that second town center was enough for Probe to launch this non-stop attack. The town center on fire. The villagers trying to keep it up. But all the while, Probe's economy is doing just grand. It's going to be hard for MarineLord to recover from this, as the brutal onslaught is at its end. The white flag is up. Eastern France has been defeated. Glory to Western France, led by Probe. This is a best of 3, so join us for the next one. There's no time to stop. There's so many matches to cover. My name's Anuki. See you soon.